are now watching Animal Expedition Files.
Wake up with your favorite station. Online, digital, and on your smartphone.
It's time for your favorite host.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Sorry I am a little late. Technical difficulties on Restream here. I hate this thing. Restream. I don't know, they might kick me out here since I said that, but welcome everybody to the show. It is a Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you so much for joining us. I got the Vogel Brothers in the background. I'm going to have them up here in a second, but I just want to say thank you for you wonderful people that watch me every Wednesday and Saturday. I know it's been a little weird. I have now I'm doing something a little different with music and all that, and doing like reaction videos and stuff like that. Thank you so much for watching those too. They're a lot of fun to do with my good friend Mike Gigliano. So hey Carl, hey Stacy, hey Michelle, hey everybody. Thank you for joining the show. Please like and subscribe to my show if you haven't seen it before. I appreciate you so much, and that's my Millennium Falcon right there if you can see it. Got a lot of Star Wars stuff here. Good evening, Michelle. How is it going? I'm doing good. It's a beautiful day, and happy to be on. I miss you guys. It's been a little bit, not really a little bit, but I've been having a lot of Bigfoot people on my show lately, and it's actually really good because it's leading up to a festival that's coming up in a couple of weeks, actually a few weeks, up in Massachusetts, Russell, Massachusetts. So you don't want to miss out. Get your tickets. I'm going to have the guys come up here because I'm going to show a video here with them and see what their takes about this skunk ape that's been, I guess, seen out there in the Everglades. So we'll be sharing that too. But let's invite him on the show here. Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going?
Hey. How are you?
Just let's change that there.
Good to see you, Josh.
Good to see you guys.
Nice.
Man, it's been a bit, but I am very excited. I gotta tell you, I can't wait to be driving up to Massachusetts. I miss going up there. I'm originally from Rhode Island, so I'll be visiting that too. Some of my family's actually going to be coming to the festival, so it's going to be really cool.
That's cool. Yeah, the area is pretty sweet. It's got a nice lake, it's a nice backdrop, mountains, Western Mass. It's all, the Berkshires kind of.
Yeah.
It's kind of the foothills of the Berkshires, what it is.
That's awesome. So, like, with the festival that's coming, what do you guys got going on before it happens? Like, what does it take to put on a festival for people get to know the Vogel Brothers? Tell us a little bit about that.
big ambitions and have no idea on how to do it. This is our first one.
Yeah.
So, we've done other projects, but this has just got more at stake, so to speak,
Yeah,
because you're more on a
It's more involved for sure.
big scale kind of thing,
Yeah.
So you want to make it right. You want to make it sort of big and nice and fun and have everything involved
Manageable.
with a festival. And so that's what we
Yeah.
tried to do. So what we did was, after a lot of discussion, we decided, we're going to pull the plug. This takes insurance. We have a business. So we went from the Vogel Brothers investigating Bigfoot to starting the Cobble Mountain Critter Project. The Cobble Mountain Critter Project is solely a public speaking aspect of the Vogel Brothers. So we go off and we talk at library shows, conference, festivals,
Campgrounds all over.
different places. And those funds go into the Cobble Mountain Critter Project. And this year we're going to be planting trees with school kids. They're all going to get, pine trees, and they're going to take them home for like Arbor Day, things like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not this year, next year. And then with the funding that we do get, if we have enough, we're going to be sending kids to camp. So, that's a costly adventure. A kid going to camp is, between $300 to $500 in our area and more. Some of these sports camps are crazy expensive. We're just going to try to do the best we can with the money we have.
Right.
And get as many kids into camp or a summer camp experience outdoors.
Right.
Not necessarily just inner city kids. There's plenty of kids in the local towns and things like that they're not going to make it out to a summer camp for financial reasons.
Yeah.
So this goes to everybody.
Right. But they're being taught how to utilize the land, how to, when they're out there, to respect the land, the whole 9 yards, And without that, if you don't start them early enough, they'll never know it. So this is the best way to do it. You start them out young, and you go in, like Tim was saying, you give them the trees, you get them excited. We have a few things on the burners right now, book wise. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually good about that because when I was a kid, I was always out in the woods, always out searching for things, always chasing animals. And I think it's good, especially in this day and age, kids are always inside playing video games. And
there's a good portion of kids, and there's still a lot of kids out in the woods.
You just got to get them excited.
Yeah.
Give them something to get excited about, and you'll get them out there.
Yeah.
And we believe this is the vehicle to do it.
And especially talking about Bigfoot, because I know in your area there's a lot of Bigfoot activity, especially just in that area.
Yeah.
I know I'm very excited about Bigfoot with you guys because I've been looking forward to this, and Bigfoot with you guys, Richie B and
Mojo,
a whole bunch of other people. So I'm stoked.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And if and when we come up Friday night, we plan on going out.
Yeah, the Mariner House where all you guys are staying is just up here. It's an old stone mansion, for lack of better words. It's it looks like an Adirondack stone mansion, work of art kind of thing. And so that's where you guys will all be staying. All the speakers are in that building. We have another cabin that we'll be using as well, just for the speakers. We've got a dozen speakers.
Yeah.
And Eric will go through the list and kind of like the speaker lineup. But this is to kind of back up a little bit how to get this thing started. I went from telling you that it was the Vogel Brothers. We started a business, and then it came. We wanted to do something because we're kind of business people. We wanted to do something to give back to the kids, so we started the festival. And that required money and insurance. And, so now the Cobble Mountain Critters got $1 million policy, so we can go to, pretty much anywhere we want and give them our copy of insurance, and we're legit. It's not like we're taking this money and going, on a squatch ride, at Dunkin' Donuts and going for, that's not happening. There's those funds are spoken for. For us, it's kind of like a bad business plan. We're not really making much money,
Yeah.
But there's a big payoff for it, and that's what we really wanted.
Just there's a lot of time involved.
Tons.
You know, time that you didn't think you had. Well, you kind of squeezed that in somewhere.
Yeah. And when you're a podcaster, you're making all of your artwork, your displays, your marketing.
Right.
You wear all the hats, and you do that for a festival. You do that as a business owner.
Yep.
And so now it's the business owner. Now we're trying to do a festival that we're kind of we're definitely new at. So creating vendor applications, and things like that. It's nuts.
Yeah.
We were in business prior to this. We had an adventure education business. It was retired during COVID. And so this Cobble Mountain Critter and youth outdoor education thing isn't too far-fetched. That's our roots.
It's just it's getting the speakers and the other people all involved, and keeping control of that and track of it. But otherwise it's the outdoor adventure part, or the outdoor part is what we did earlier. But there is a ton of work involved. So it's not something, although, we were sitting here one day saying, I wish there was some way we could do this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
Here we are today.
So we started this well over a year ago.
Yeah.
We've been advertising now for pretty near a year.
Yeah. And we're down
on
to about
Facebook.
3 weeks.
It's an Eventbrite Facebook thing. Just jumping off into that was, it's a ballsy thing.
Yeah.
It's because you don't know. I've never done it before. So now you're going to commit to people a year from now that you're going to do a festival. You haven't sold one ticket. You don't have a vendor. We did have this. We had commitment from a bunch of you guys saying you were going to come in and do it, and you were donating your time to the youth outdoor education. And this became one of those things that it took a big weight off our shoulders because everybody was donating their time. So
that was the motivation to keep it going.
Yeah. We already had a lot of you guys committed. So, we were going to push it for that. And then it morphed into, we want to recognize New England, not necessarily just for Bigfoot, but there's no Bigfoot thing.
Right.
You got
everything.
Whitehall, New York, which is awesome. And speaking of Whitehall, we're also going to imitate their Bigfoot call. We'll have that around 1:00 at Arts Festival.
Absolutely.
The Bigfoot call, that's almost, you got to have one now. It's almost like it's a crown jewel for them, and it's working for everybody else. So they should take it as a compliment when their stuff is copied. And it's, who's better? There's everybody from the little kids to the old guys out there going to be whooping. And
you never know what you're going to receive.
Whooping are like doing something.
Something.
Got to do
You
something.
never know. We're going to keep
Rich
it PG, I hope. And,
Pants.
well, Wojo and Richie will be there. So, we're going to, there'll be we'll just try to maintain.
No
with
pants
those guys.
radio.
No pants, Richie. That's what we're
Oh
gonna.
my God.
He's gonna.
No, he'll be a good boy this weekend or that weekend. So, anyways,
Keep 'em under
there's a
control.
whole bunch of stress, a lot of sleepless nights going into this. And then after you start it and you push send and you bought your insurance and all this stuff, now we've got a big bill we got to pay here for the rental of the business or for the festival grounds, the rental of those buildings, the capital of that, so it's
all included.
That comes out of our pocket right off the top, not including festival. That's already bought and paid for. Right. So festival money goes to festival to benefit the youth outdoor ed, and everything else is either sponsored or covered in some fashion. We've got, some T-shirts and stickers, some other local. We got Richie B and Wojo doing marketing. They've been doing all kinds of banners and flyers and marketing throughout their stuff. And it's been just the local folks like you guys pushing and sharing.
Yeah, share and like it.
The event. The more we can get out there, kind of going back, we wanted to make this a New England thing because there was nothing in New England.
Right.
There was a big circle here
in
the Berkshires. We had to go to Boston.
It was like the black hole. There was nothing going on.
This place, that in Maine, Albany, Whitehall, but nothing right here in the Springfield, Pittsfield, Hartford, not the Hartford, but Springfield, Pittsfield area, Western Mass.
Nothing going on.
So we decided, what the heck? We managed to get a space, and it just started
Try
happening.
to give
And
it a shot and see what would happen.
we approached you guys, and everybody was right on board with it. And then we just went with it. We committed to dates. We had to buy insurance and all that stuff, and find people to put out there for vendors. And so it's a big to do. It's a big ask for a brand new thing.
A lot of behind the scenes movement for sure.
Yeah. So come January or June 7th, June 7th, we'll it seems January. Richie, there's no hugs for you, dude. No hugging you, Richie. No hugs for you. Stay away. Damn it. So June 7th, when that day rolls around, and we've got people parking because we're gonna be blessed with a great day. And so we'll have our parking, all that squared away. And
we have a lot of critter getters coming in to give us a hand. So
once everybody's in, you guys will be all in the night before and whatnot, and we'll have a good night that night. Friday night, the pre-night, everybody's going to be there. Maybe a
fire going, whole 9 yards. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, that'll be a good time. And it's just kind of a bunch of Bigfooters, and kind of like another thing we're pushing is like a research rendezvous. And Friday night will almost be like a New England researchers rendezvous where everybody gets together and shares their ideas. So we're kind of moving in that same direction. And we didn't know if we were going to make it. We're going to see how this one goes.
Right.
If it works out and it's worthwhile,
we have other
continue. Then we'll
There's
do
other
it.
things on the burner for sure.
But this rendezvous thing, where it's more research based, not festival based, but more of a I don't know, more of an invite kind of a thing. And we actually share cooperative information collectively, and we come up with some things that either patterns or just general knowledge that we can say in West Virginia, Kentucky, Illinois, Ohio, wherever these guys are coming for. Are they doing this out there? Are they doing this? What are they doing here? What are they doing here? Blah blah blah. And share it, but share it face to face, meet and greet, make our world smaller. Make our world smaller, and this will be a great place to do it. I can do it right here.
When you come, are you bringing your stuff with you?
Oh yeah, I'm bringing the whole lot. My podcast gear, everything, mics,
awesome.
Cameras. I got a drone. I'm gonna do some drone footage and stuff and all that cool.
That'll be perfect.
It's gonna be really cool stuff.
We were looking for somebody that was going to have a drone. We'd like to get some of those festival pictures from above,
Chase Richie B so he wipes out.
I want to get one of just chasing Richie in his notepad.
That'll be good.
Or somebody can be wearing a Squatch suit. That's the question.
Well, there's been talk of a Squatch suit.
I never know.
I'm just saying I don't know. It's a typical, real honest to God Bigfoot thing. It either shows up or it don't, and maybe it does. Maybe
Bigfoot might show up. You never know.
It's a very good possibility.
We've had things happen here.
On the real side of things, we've had Class A sightings right here in the camp, right here. And we have a 1,300 acre camp we're doing this on.
The building that you're staying in?
Yeah.
80 feet to the right of that building is where I saw the orb.
Yeah. Not to mention it's haunted with a ghost named Alice.
Yeah.
And I'll share that story and another ghost story. And that's really cool. Yeah. I don't do paranormal because I don't like that stuff. It sticks to you and goes home with you and that crap.
But we will let you know about it.
That's why we Bigfoot.
Oh, you'll like it.
Yeah.
Right at home.
Bigfoot, ghosts, Wolfman, it all follows. So.
We have a historic cemetery just right at the bottom of the hill here. Civil War veterans, some weird stuff. Not weird. Some sorry,
abnormal.
Right down the hill here. So my bad. So it's going to be an awesome time. Really, there's like I said, it's plenty of parking.
It's going to be fun.
Even if it rains, we have a number of tents and pavilions and things like that.
Yeah.
That we could potentially put a lot of people under and whatnot. So It's going to be an adventure. Our first one, it's scary as hell, and I'll leave it at that.
But we're looking at we're trying to push it, get the word out there, and we're hoping that it at least it makes a mark in New England,
right?
So they know that something is here.
I think one of our last posts was,
and just have fun with it,
bringing the cryptid, paranormal, UFO. That whole community together. June
I mean, 7th. What the hell? We're going below water now.
Yeah, right. With the
we're going below water now. I mean, come on.
Yeah. You never know.
Right. Exactly. That's my point.
So, who do you have on the list of speakers by now? Who will be?
Well, Eric's going to give you the speakers by lineup.
Yes, by lineup.
So if you're listening and you're really, jonesing to know,
and if you want to know about your meet and greet, this is the time that they'll be around.
Yep. There's a number of
Kathy
people.
Mitchell is going to be the MC.
Yeah, go Kathy.
She's good at it. She's going to do a good job.
Gene, if we can get her off the pond in the lake.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
Gene Tewksbury.
Hey, Gene.
Cats. Hello, Gene. I know you're out there.
Yeah, the Eastern Ghost Cats. It's going to be crazy.
She's on between 10 and 10:45.
She's going to start it.
And then Mike Young from Bigfoot, Connecticut. He is on from 11 to 11:45.
That's awesome.
And then Dave McCullough. He will be on 12 to 12:45. And I think in between there, we're going to have the Bigfoot call contest.
Yeah, there'll be a Bigfoot calling contest. I believe Weagle Works is a new vendor we just met through our blacksmith. And I believe they're going to come up and do a cool trophy for the winner. So that'll be
it's metal
etching. Cool. Who knows what? That's just going to be an awesome surprise.
I'll have to practice.
Yeah. So I mean, there is going to be a prize at the end of that one.
Yeah.
That's going to be good.
Yeah.
And then of course you're going down.
And then of course we have Josh. You're coming on about paranormal diving, correct?
Yeah.
I actually
you're
brushing
at 1
off
to 145.
Yeah, I'm just actually brushing off the dive equipment because we're getting ready for some dives coming up soon. So
that'll be cool. That's
good stuff.
That's different. That'll be cool. And then we have Matt Monets doing UFO. He's at 2 and 2:45. And then Ernie Davro. He's going to talk about his encounter, which is an incredible encounter. He's on at 3 to 3:45. And then Mike Trainer out of Rhode Island.
Oh, Mike.
He's on 4 to 4:45. And then Jessica Carzlosi, she is on at 5 to 5:45.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And then we have New Hampshire Bigfoot Society. They're on at 6 to 6:45. And Richie and Will Joe, they're at 7:45, but they're all day. So
yeah, they're anchoring. They're going to close out for the speakers. And then it'll be kind of, if somebody has something to say, they want to use the porch, they can get up there and say it.
Right.
If they want to have other talks. All the speakers will have a booth, so have a tent and a chair and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sell
your wares.
The vendors will have booths and all their stuff. I would say that in some places is limited Wi-Fi. Where the vendors are going to be, it's going to be up around the central area where there's mainly Wi-Fi. But it's we're in the hills, so it's anything's possible.
Yeah, it's kind of spotty. It all depends on which way the wind blows,
Well, cash would be king. Cash would be king just in case. Just in case there's no reception or the guys are having a hard time with their Square or PayPal or whatever they're using, whatever.
Yeah.
Cash is always easier.
Yeah.
Especially out here. You're in 1,300 acres. You're out in the woods. You're out in the woods. This is the country.
That's right, Steve.
So it's very limited options. There's going to be bathrooms and porta potties. There will be, like I said, a dozen speakers. So you'll have meet and greets all day with the speakers. That will be at their tents. You'll go and you'll talk to them. People are buying time. to get to meet you, get pictures, autographs.
Yeah,
spend some time
that'll
with
be
you guys.
their time with you to do what like you said, pictures, autographs, talk, answer questions, the whole 9 yards.
And then they'll just keep moving on, and it'll be like we'll have speaker row kind of, and they'll just keep moving it down the line ish, and that should do pretty good. So that gives them guys really good quality time with you folks, because you're going to be right there face to face, not being not afraid to shake hands,
And not just the
talk
one-on-one part, but when you're sitting at your booth, you got them all day.
Yeah, and there's people going to be selling their wares and all that kind of stuff. Dave McCullough, he's coming down.
Yeah.
Dave's got, I don't know, I'm not going to speak for him, but I hope he brings all of his casts, Dave. Dave McCullough's got
incredible.
Yeah, an incredible cast collection.
Can't wait to see
And
it.
it's just a vast, it
You will be
spans the
amazed
history of Bigfoot.
if when you see him. If you've never seen him before, you will be amazed.
Yeah, like the hand cast. You've heard us talk in other podcasts where we talk about the Bigfoot hands. And
about the size of first
massive.
baseman's mitt. Yeah, see the
nuts.
hand, it's crazy.
So anyways, everybody's coming down. I know there's going to be a bunch of T-shirts and hats and all that stuff. Everybody's got it for sale. So think festivals. We've got 3 or 4 food trucks that are coming.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
From Jamaicans. We got this really good smash burgers from Our Mother's Kitchen. It's a little vendor truck. He's a local.
Yeah.
There's
He's taking care of you guys.
Yeah.
I think
anyway,
it's our treat.
There's vendors coming for the food. There's a number of people that are selling all kinds of crafts.
Yeah.
wow.
And then there's
It's turning out to
no beer.
no alcohol.
Well, there's no beer sales there.
Right.
And then it's it's going to be a huge open space, so it's really
Plenty
cool
of room.
place.
It's going to be you're not going to be crowded in.
Yeah.
It's going to be nice.
The speakers are on the back porch.
All
of
we can
this
do is
area.
pray for good weather.
Wojo and who's that other guy?
Just
his name?
Wojo is Wojo and the other guy.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that Richie guy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is that
That
his
guy.
name?
Yeah. The Richie guy. So those guys, they are actually really good sponsors for us, and so we're going to give them like the mezzanine level. We're going to give them what we call the commissioner's porch, and they're going to be out front. They're going to be talking, and they'll have their little band.
They're
set
going
up
to be
on a
here in
porch,
style for sure.
and doing their wooka 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 stuff and all that. Whatever they do. All that good stuff.
But there'll be funny shit going on. That's for sure. Especially if I'm there, I'm gonna definitely mess with Richie. So be aware, Richie. I am a joke.
No, so they're going to get a cat. They're going to be
they're going to have their own
elevated platform up on a porch. So that's where those guys will be broadcasting from. So really from where you'll be, like with your drone. Unobstructed right out. I mean, it'll be pretty good.
Richie's head.
You know the deal. So it'll be keeping them on their toes. So anyway, and then like I said, the speakers are on a really cool stone porch. Everybody, that would be a good thing to say is if you're going to be spending time with the speakers, bring a chair. Definitely, it's lawn chairs. This is an outdoor venue.
Right.
Bring a lawn chair. Richie B, I don't know why you didn't tell me that before. What's up with that?
Yeah, really.
You're supposed to be, what the heck? Jeez. All right. So anyways, bring a lawn chair. That would be really good.
Yeah, this is rain or shine.
Cash, lawn chair, good time, and we'll have a good time.
Yeah.
The speakers are incredible. Everybody's got a great story. Everybody's got a great story. And
what's nice about it is it's bringing in all of New England, and it's bringing in almost everything.
Yeah.
So there's something for everybody. I don't care what you're into, it'll be here. Cryptid, all kinds of stuff. The whole gamut, which is really going to be cool. And that should, we don't have that here.
Right.
So hopefully it'll be an attraction to bring more people in.
Yeah.
So
Gee, we're here. We're excited to have you too.
Yes, we are. We're hoping that this one goes well, and we're we're hoping to at least break even off of it. If we break even, we're like, score.
Yeah, we got a few
It'd
people
be
helping
great,
us out here too.
you know.
It's not just him and I sending out things.
Right.
We have Noreen up here. She's helping us out. She's doing a ton of work.
It's Sandy and Al.
We have some Sandy and Al and Kathy. So we have a lot of people that are, like you were asking earlier, behind the scenes,
sending
that
out
really,
for sponsor applications,
they've really stepped
vendor
up and helped us out.
applications.
So.
Yeah. Are
A
we
lot of time.
Yeah, it's not just two people doing it.
are we definitely going Bigfooting? That's the question.
We are absolutely going.
Yeah, we could. We're limited for time and space. You guys tell me I've got the time. I can make it. We could do it.
We will make
here
it work.
on camp, which is plenty big enough, and we can head out to October Mountain.
Yeah,
and we can do a pretty cool place. That's an incredible place. We've had a number of experiences.
Oh, and you would like it because it's not just Bigfoot,
and then
it's
you got
UFO and ghosts.
Yeah,
so it's right up your alley.
it's just a place of weird
but it's above
stuff.
Water.
Wow.
That's about. I'm all below water. Like here in Florida, we're like literally sinking like the Atlantis here.
Yeah, a little
Freezing
SpongeBob
when I'm doing my
podcast.
shows, water's gonna be up to here.
Right, yeah, SpongeBob podcast.
Yeah, right.
SpongeBob. I'll be wearing my scuba gear while I'm doing my show.
Yeah. No, we do that, and really, like we said earlier, that and everything that we raise off of this, it goes towards the kids.
Yeah.
So that's the cool part about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Up here when we were kids, in fifth grade, fourth grade, on Arbor Day, thereabouts, somebody would come in and talk to you about trees and planting trees, and everybody would go out and plant one in the
You were in
schoolyard.
fourth or fifth grade, and when I was in, you wrote an essay about Arbor Day. What did you think about Arbor Day?
Wow.
Well, I actually won the damn thing. I won it. And they give you a certificate, and they give you the special tree. Well, that thing grew like crazy. But yes, they had it every year. They come into the schools and they would give you the tree.
It had these weird buds on it.
And that's what we're going to do. We're going to give out trees.
Yeah.
And that way we can encompass a lot of kids.
Yeah.
And that's to start, and that's to get them involved. Get them out and see what happens.
The thought about using the Cobble Mountain critter, it's already here. It's already local lore. Right. We're living next to the Cobble Mountain Reservoir. So using the Cobble Mountain critter.
We actually have stories that are in the BFRO website for sightings out here. So, I mean, it's here. Yeah, sure.
That's just through that. There's plenty of local stuff.
Absolutely. We have it right here in the reservoir. Noreen herself has a howl.
Yeah. Recorded.
Recorded howl. Yeah. There's, the lore, like he said, the lore is here. So why not keep it here?
And we're using the Bigfoot to teach about the watershed, like the leave no trace principles. And you start employing these when they're kids, they'll start remembering it, and it just makes it easier to interact with the
and do it in a fun, active way. What better way than Bigfoot? And Bigfoot's elusive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Leave no trace.
Yep. Yeah, he's definitely the king of hide and go seek.
Absolutely is.
Yeah, no, actually, Bigfoot is actually the mascot of Leave No Trace.
Yeah.
The actual LNT.org. Bigfoot is their mascot, so to speak, the reigning champion of Leave No Trace kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anybody that's out in the wilderness or in the backcountry should be following Bigfoot style.
So we're bringing it into the school systems with potentially the Cobble Mountain Critter Day. So we're going to go into the schools with a potential coloring book for the third and fourth grade, teaching about the Cobble Mountain Reservoir and how it was built, why it was built, what they're doing with it today. And then we're going into planting the tree or a leave no trace kind of component for the older kids, just a small coloring book and having Bigfoot, being the vehicle to say what we want. And then planting the trees on, whether it's Arbor Day or the Cobble Mountain Critter Day,
the
whatever
book
day
in
it
Bigfoot
is.
is what's going to get them in. That's hopefully that's what excites them enough to stay involved.
Well, that's what the funds are going for.
Yep.
That's what the funds. So that's got to buy the publishing, the artwork, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why we came up with the festival, hoping we could make some more money. with the festival, so we could dump more money into a coloring book and a Leave No Trace educational book and pamphlets and handouts and the pine trees to hand out to 300 kids, things like that. If anybody out there wants to sponsor any of this, this isn't just a one-time deal. This is a business. This is an ongoing. It'll be a yearly thing.
Absolutely.
We can use long-term partnerships, long-term sponsors, any of them.
This isn't just a weekend thing. This is 365 days.
So we're looking at running. We're not running it, but doing mud runs and 5K, 3K walks, stuff like that. Mud runs up here in the woods. There's plenty of dirt roads and things like that for it. So it's finding the right people that actually come in and help us run it, do the timing.
Yeah, we have
stuff like that.
Yeah, we have. We're looking into other things.
Fundraisers.
Fundraisers. And eventually we will come up with things to do. But we have 5 or 6 things already on the book. So
That's
it's just getting them to activate, and it all takes time. You can't do it all at once. You just gotta take your time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you will go crazy.
Yeah. Where can people find the tickets? If people are interested right now, the people that are listening right now, please listen to this where to find the tickets, because you don't want to miss out. It'll be the first one, and there'll be many more coming to the of this event. But where can people, if they want to go, especially in the chat room, where can they get these tickets?
Go to Eventbrite. Eventbrite is the ticket sales people. Yep. You go to Eventbrite, you look for the Cobble Mountain Critter Festival, Russell, Mass. It'll pop up. You go to ticket sales. You buy a parking pass, because we have to pay for parking. Everybody has to pay for parking. Yeah. If it's bad weather, I've got thousands of dollars I've got to put into parking, repairing fields. So that's where the parking fee comes from. It's not because I'm making anything. That becomes a repair fee mandated by the renter. So that's something out of our control. So you go there, you get a parking pass, you get your general admission pass. Right now they're on sale. They're $20. I think they're on sale for 17 and change if you buy it early.
Right.
Kids under 12 are free. And the kids that are 15 years up to 18 are like $15. So it's a fairly, it's a cheap event. It's family friendly, no alcohol, a bunch of great speakers covering all kinds of topics all day long, food all day long.
Yep. And at the same time, they can get your tickets too. They can get the meet and greet tickets for all of the speakers on the same thing.
All the meet and greet tickets, all that stuff. So it's at Eventbrite. Go to the Cobble Mountain Critter Festival, and you'll find it there. Or on Facebook, go to the Cobble Mountain Critter Festival page, like it, and you'll get, you'll see us through there. You can get us on the Cobble Mountain Critter page, which is our public speaking component. And there's the Vogel Brothers, where we actively go out and we're doing research under the Vogel Brothers.
Yeah.
And it's all licensed. We're all insured for licensed. I don't know about license. That's a little weird. But through business, we're licensed. We have license, and we're insured now. So it's, because you do these festivals and things, actually people are asking for COIs. Even the library, they want this contract, certificate of insurance. So that's what they want. So we're legit. It's as far as a business goes, it's not like a hobby. This is something to do for the kids. Just get them outside.
We've already done it once. We did it for 20 plus years
with our other business
on the outdoor education part of it, the adventure part of it. Now we're bringing it in this way.
That's awesome.
So we've got 20 plus years behind us already knowing what we did and how to do it.
So it's adventure education.
Plus you get to see this hairy guy.
There you go.
That's right.
They might think I'm Sasquatch once I get there in the woods.
Yeah. Why, we got some. Well, there's going to be some people that show up.
You just never know.
You just never know. So anyways, and they won't be wearing a costume, and you just don't know.
You just don't know.
But we do plan on taking all of you guys out.
Yeah, there's going to be also there's an
some
old-timey
campers,
band.
too.
Old-timey band. I don't remember the name.
Yeah, I can't think of their name. I've been trying to think of it all
So
night.
that's going to be a surprise for everybody.
They do a lot of Bigfoot songs.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. So we've got some music as well.
Yeah, it's all acoustic, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I have to wear my cowboy.
It's going to be fun. We're looking forward to it. It's a lot of work, a lot of prep, a lot of stress, but in the long run, it'll be worth it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
It'll be worth it.
I literally can't wait. It's gonna be a party with all you guys. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Well, we were going to start it off with a 4-day festival, and as the realization of committing and pushing the button, saying, "Okay, 4 days," it's like, dude, we got 12 speakers and we got 1 day. We could have done this in 4 days and had a really comfortable leisure thing, and give you 3 or 4 hours to speak and camp out with people if you wanted. But it's live and learn. We had there was options for finances, and this was our only one that fit our bill, because this comes out of our pocket till we can pay for it.
Always start out big, and then you can dwindle it down to where it's wicked manageable. And right now it's pretty manageable.
Picture.
It's always nice to think big, and hey, next year's a different story.
There's nothing wrong with big, that's for sure.
Right.
Unless you're with Richie and Wojo.
Well, hey. They're on a whole nother level.
Just need a bigger amplifier.
A bigger amplifier. The thing is, we'll all be there and having a lot of fun, and I'm excited to bring my podcast up to be able to interview a lot of you guys up there, and we'll go live on my show too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's gonna be a lot of fun. But I want to show you this video here that was spotted not too long ago that someone caught. I want to get your thoughts about it. Let's check it out. Just a small clip, but I just want to. I just saw that video not too long ago. I think it was in Florida.
The same one.
Huh?
It's intriguing.
I saw that too.
In the very beginning, it almost looked AI-ish, but it's one of those things. It's going to be hard to say. It's in the mud. It's exactly what you would expect. All matted down and wet and muddy and skunk apish. That's what you would expect.
Exactly.
It's hard. It's compelling. It's good stuff. But that short, brief thing that I just saw wasn't enough for me to sit there and when you start looking at this AI and you start looking for AI, there's a lot better stuff than what I have in front of me to do it. And when these guys will sit through and they'll break it down, and you know who will do it? Steve calls. He'll go knocking on their door. He'll figure it out. He'll tell you what time it is. Steve, Squatch guy, detective, get out there, figure this one out. Give us a holler.
There's so much AI out there.
That's what makes it hard.
Whoa,
that's what makes it hard. AI is going to put a lot of. There was already a lot of ifs out there, and now with the AI, it's even harder. And the only thing is once you know. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, and especially the experiences that you guys have out there. So it's all on experience.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely. And we've had some experiences.
Well, almost 2 decades, almost, so there's and working with different groups, which made you kind of like when somebody had a report, they had a sighting or a thing or whatever they did, they make a report. We would get a report, we go off and we investigate it. So you're kind of like the cops in the Bigfoot world because you're going to get the report.
Yeah.
So depending on how recent some of the reports are, depends on how fast you move and how much weight you put into a report, how realistic it is,
or how many reports come out of a certain area. And, if it's active or not. And we have a couple of active spots, and we've been very lucky at.
We're talking about Bigfoot and other things. So when people start talking about like Dogman and these other entity things that are out there,
crazy
rakes
stuff.
and whatnot.
Well, that's a whole nother story.
And we're still talking about Bigfoot. So just lump this thing in there, and And oh, and by the way, this thing, and these people are, you know, I know folks that are straight up saying that I don't want to say his name. I'm just going to say this thing walked right up to him, got in his face,
Yeah.
and it was a dog man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Freaking dog man
Yeah.
got right
He
in
was
his face.
he was facing
Eyeball to
he was
eyeball
facing
with
in the
his
other
thing.
direction, and when he turned around, it was right there.
Yeah.
Face
Well,
to
anyway,
face.
incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
The only good thing about that story is it happened out west.
Yeah, it happened
Midwest.
out near the Colorado.
So we'll
Yeah,
leave it at
it's
that.
crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, I know we only have a couple of minutes left, but please tell everybody before we head out, tell a little bit everybody that hasn't heard but about the festival a little bit, where they could find everything and where they could connect with you guys to be part of this festival.
Go for it.
All right. So the Vogel Brothers, all Facebook stuff, the Vogel Brothers, Cobble Mountain Critter Project, and the Cobble Mountain Critter the Cobble Mountain Critter Festival.
Right.
Those are all pages that you can get updates on, whether we're working or doing the festival or speaking or something like that. The Cobble Mountain Critter Festival, June 10th. I'm sorry. Whoa, my bad. June 7th. This year, come on up, Russell, Massachusetts. Put in your GPS.
Yes.
It'll take you way up in the woods past Warnoco Pond, and you're going to find it. So there's a whole bunch of vendors and speakers, all, you know, UFO, cryptid.
Yes.
Everybody's
great,
out here.
Great speakers. It's an event speaker-wise only you don't want to miss out on.
Right. Over 12
If
speakers.
nothing else, the
An
speakers
amazing-
alone
Yeah.
is well worth it.
And it's a fairly, it's costly. It's not that expensive in my book.
No.
You know, you're talking $17 for an adult ticket.
Yeah.
You know, kids under 12 are free. And, you know, it's going pretty good in ticket sales. It should be a pretty decent crowd.
But go to Eventbrite.
Yeah, Eventbrite's where they got to go.
Yeah, because all sales are online.
Yeah.
So go to Eventbrite, go to the tickets, and you can scroll through it, get your parking ticket, your general admission, or if you're a vendor out there, you're on that list too.
Yeah, just
scroll
go to
through
the
it.
vendor app and you'll see it. You go to your vendors, it says all vendors right here. Just click that one.
Rick gets to go for free because he's under 12, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It gets a yep,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
And like I said before, you know, it's easier for us to deal with if you do your purchases online. I print out a print sheet. I meet everybody as they drive up the hill. If their name's on the print sheet and they paid for parking
go
and they got a
straight
ticket, they just go through to the parking guy and that vehicle will be parked.
Yeah.
If somebody's coming through and they haven't paid for a ticket, then it's best to do a cash sales right there and do you know, I don't care.
Yeah,
We can
because
do a
there's no
cash sale.
guarantee you were going to have Wi-Fi there.
No, there's probably
You
not
know,
going to be Wi-Fi
it's
at the bottom
spotty.
of the mountain.
So if you can't, if you got
And it's the only
cash,
place
would be
on
the
the
best
mountain.
way to do it.
It's the only place in the mountain where we can turn people around if they're deciding not to come in.
Right.
So they will be turned around at the bottom of the mountain to be able to drive out. Otherwise, it's $20 to park, $20 entry fee. At that point, it's $20
Yep.
across the board. Kids are free, 12 years old and under. And it should be a good
just
time.
remember, everything that comes in is going out to the kids.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
That's
it's
awesome.
all for a good
There'll be a
cause.
raffle and door prizes,
yeah.
things like that. So the
Yep.
you know, vendors
And
are
we're going to
giving us
have
some
the
stuff.
the Bigfoot calling contest with
Yep.
a prize at the end of it.
Forgot to even say there's we got the blacksmith going to be there. You're going to sit there and ding and melt stuff and burn stuff
Oh yeah.
and do blacksmithy stuff right there at the blacksmith shop. And then we'll have a 60-foot climbing tower that will be rentable. You can
Climbing
go
wall.
up and do a climb on there. That will support the camp itself. That's going to be outside our purview, but we'll be able to utilize it. And those funds will supply for the camp. That's for paying their staff,
Which is for
to
the
come
kids.
in. And that'll it's all going with kids anyway. So that pays for those guys, harnesses, permits, things like that.
Right.
So that's a good thing as well. But it's one of the tallest outdoor climbing walls you're going to find in the
Permanent
Northeast.
climbing wall. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have that as well.
But it's a great way to start out
There's camping
the
available.
the summer, you know.
Camping, you come in Friday night, June 6th, you can camp. Then June 7th is the festival.
Yep.
If you come in and you camp, you're going to hang out probably with everybody, all
Yep,
the speakers.
We're going to hang
that'll be
out.
here
We're going to
early.
go. We're going to go out and do
Just a-
squatch.
it'll be like a VIP, and you didn't even have
Right.
to pay for it. You know, it's going to be one of those deals. It's going to be that loose and that fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time.
Campfires, not raging bonfires, not crazy, but nice campfires, kind of raging, but not too bad.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I can't wait myself.
Everybody that shows up is gonna have a good time. There's
yeah. I'm ready, man. I'm ready to leave now. Like I'm literally ready to go. I can't wait to be there. It's gonna be fun hanging out with y'all. We waited for a year for this, and now it's finally here. So thank you guys for inviting me. I can't wait to be there. I can't wait to see you guys hang out and be able to have a lot of fun with you guys. But thank you everybody for joining on the show on Animal Expedition Files. Thank you, the Vogel Brothers, for having us to come up there, and I can't wait. I can't wait to Bigfoot with you guys. Can't wait to do a lot of stuff. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
We appreciate you bringing us on so we can push it out there too.
Yeah, and going live and with that whole drone thing, chasing Wojo. That'll be epic.
I'm gonna chase Wojo and
it's gonna be awesome.
So that'll be awesome. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining the Animal Expedition Files. You guys have been amazing.
Thank you.
We'll talk for a minute or so after the show, but if you have not seen my show every Wednesday and Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, be glad to have you. Peace out and have a good week. See y'all.
Later.
Lights on. Dark Realm TV. Coming soon.